Okay, so I had a doctor's appointment on Monday to just go over, you know, just to start the dialogue about planning to conceive number 2. I need to make this fast because it is about nap time. Yes, it is. Look at you. Hi. Hi, baby. What you got there? Okay, so basically what happened is I went to the doctor on Monday, and if you don't remember, in the beginning of March, right before Chase turned a year, I went to the doctor and I had an ultrasound sometime in March, and I discovered that I had no more cysts on my ovaries. So prior to having Chase, both ovaries were covered in cysts, like a lot of cysts. It was sad and depressing, but anyway, so my ovaries don't have any cysts on them anymore. I talked to my doctor about this, and you know, he said it's not uncommon for women who have PCOS to have a baby, and for that to happen, you know, while you're pregnant, your ovaries just shrink up and basically go dormant. And so maybe, you know, hey you and all your cuteness. So apparently I was one of those people that it did, you know, make the cysts go away and they shrunk up, and I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, I was so confused when I had the ultrasound. I'm like, what is that? Because I'm not used to seeing ovaries without cysts on them. I didn't even recognize them as ovaries. So that checked out. That was great news. My uterus lining, my lining was pretty thin though. This was back in March when I had the ultrasound, and so I just now was, you know, discussing everything with my doctor. And it was only like 4 millimeters. And to have a healthy pregnancy, you need it to be more like 15, I think, or 20, somewhere around there. But that wasn't really a concern. It's really normal for after having a baby for your uterus lining to be really thin. And that was a few months ago. I mean, we're in June now. I have no idea what my uterus looks like right now. Okay, so that was all fine. Oh, and if you're not on Facebook, you don't know this, but I actually finally had my first postpartum cycle at 14 months and 6 days postpartum is when my cycle came back. And before having Chase, I never would have a period naturally. Like, maybe once in a blue moon. By once in a blue moon, like, I would go like over a year without a period if I'm not on birth control or fertility drugs or anything like that. I don't have periods at all, which, you know, has its benefits, but not when you're trying to get pregnant. So yeah, I started my period, and it was really pretty much the same as it usually is, only like 3 to 4 days, very light, very easy. I had no inclination that I was about to start my period. It just all of a sudden, thankfully, I was at home and nothing, you know, I wasn't like in an embarrassing situation out in public or something. But I was just like, holy crap, I started my period. And the only thing that I could have maybe, you know, I did have like a slight twinge, you know, here and there, like slight crampy sensations, but that happens anyway. Like, you know, you're hyper alert when you go through infertility, or if you're, you know, just TTC, you just become hyper alert to all of like the lady regions of your body. So any twinge or anything, I'm just like, is that from, you know, breastfeeding and my uterus contracting? Is it from, you know, I don't know, like whatever, you know how it goes. You just, everything, you just are aware of it a lot more when you've gone through trying to get pregnant and stuff. So, yeah, the only thing that I could have been a red flag is that I was like eating chocolate like a crazy person, but I kind of do that anyway, so... Anyway, so I started my period. That's really good news. So I wasn't planning on that happening before my doctor's appointment. I kind of was just assuming, oh, thank you. Are you sharing with Mama? Thanks, baby. He's handing me some toys. Thank you, love. There you go. I wasn't planning on that happening because, like I said, I don't have periods on my own unless I'm like drugged. So my doctor was very happy about that. The plan was, you know, like I said before, and so he says I probably ovulated, obviously, because I got a period, which is great. So the plan was to kind of like, I thought that July I would have to, you know, get some type of drug to induce a period, and July would kind of be like trying to get my body to do stuff, and then maybe start trying in August is what I was kind of thinking would happen. That's what I was kind of thinking would happen. But so after discussing with my doctor, we're not, you know, in a rush or anything, but he was like, you know, your body just did this naturally on its own, so maybe we should, you know, see, like, give your body a chance to try and, you know, see if I can get pregnant naturally, which obviously that would be the ideal way to get pregnant. Like, I don't want to be on medication. I don't want to be on fertility medicine. Of course, I'll do whatever it takes to conceive a child. And again, I have my healthy boy. I'm happy. Like, if I never had any other children, I would still be so happy. I just, for me, I really do want him to have a sibling growing up. That's, you know, something that's important to us. So what we're going to do is, I initially was going to start trying to do some medications, but we're going to try to just go all natural, see if anything happens for a couple months. I did get my baby making drugs today. I got some Clomid, which that's what got me pregnant with Chase, and some, I don't know, Prometrium. So I never took, if you don't know what Prometrium is, since I don't, you know, basically we don't know if I'm going to, like, my body's trying. My body, obviously, I must have ovulated, and my body's trying to, like, do something. So we're gonna see, you know, if anything happens. I'm probably gonna start temping again, see if anything happens. Hi, cutie pie. You are too stinking cute. You just smiling at mama. We're gonna see if anything happens in the next 4 to 6 weeks. He said, you know, it might be slower. It's not gonna be like, most likely I'm not gonna have like a perfect 28-day cycle. I never have. I don't know what that's like. So anyway, we're gonna see if something happens. I'll try to track and see if I ovulate. Obviously take a pregnancy test. We don't really want to, you know, conceive this month. Like, we're not really, like, if it happened, that'd be awesome. I don't really want to get pregnant though in June. I don't, because then I would have a March baby, and I already have a March baby, and that sounds ridiculous trying to, like, plan it out perfectly, because obviously it doesn't work like that. But I would like to wait like a couple months before we seriously try with, like, the meds that I picked up today, because I'd rather our kids' birthdays not be like the same month. It just yeah, and, you know, also gives me an extra couple months to, like, lose a little bit more weight, because I'm still not back to my pre-pregnancy. I'd be happy at this point just to lose 10 pounds, and then I would just feel in a better place, because if I gain 60 pounds again like I did with Chase, you know, I'm just, at least with him, I wasn't even eating like a crazy person. That's another story. Oh my. So he gave me Prometrium. Last time, I've always taken, whenever I've needed a period induced, I've always taken Provera, but he said he prefers Prometrium because it's one ingredient. It's just the human progesterone, versus Provera has, I think it has 2 other ingredients in it. I can't remember what they are. Some type of, I want to say, like, acid. I don't know. So Provera has 2 other ingredients, and he was like, you know, I'd rather just, you know, he and I are on the same page. Like, I'm cool with modern medicine and all that stuff, but I try to be as natural as possible. And, you know, basically, in his opinion, what's the other one called? Prometrium. In his opinion, he prefers Prometrium because it's just one ingredient, and, you know, I'm down with that. But it's taken this summer, just kind of like see if we can do it naturally, just have fun with it a little bit, and see if I ovulate, see if I get a period again. If nothing happens, that's okay. We don't want to go too long, because then, you know, if that happens again, then, you know, I'm going to start getting cysts on my ovaries if I, you know, am my body's trying to ovulate and it's not happening month after month, then I'm going to start building up cysts again on my ovaries. And so we don't want to wait too long, because right now my ovaries are clear and beautiful. So we're going to just take it easy over the summer, try to do it naturally. Hopefully that works. And if nothing happens, probably by September, I have this prometrium. I can induce my period. I have all my Clomid right here. And so we can start trying, officially trying, you know, probably September if I don't get pregnant naturally by then. I'm not going to be strict about it, because I'm not like really, are you trying to get mama's fertility? That's for making you a brother or sister. We don't want to wait too long, because I don't want to build up a bunch more cysts on my ovaries. But if my body's trying to do something, then, you know, we're going to roll with it. See if I can get pregnant naturally. That would be, oh my God, I can't even like express how awesome that would be. But I do have the drugs here at home ready to roll if nothing happens in a few months. But June, we're not going to really be trying at all. Like, I'd rather actually not get pregnant this month. I'd rather focus on a little bit more weight loss and just, you know, having fun with my boy. A concern that I brought up before and was taking Clomid while breastfeeding. Chase is still breastfeeding. Oh my goodness. Wanna say hi? Hi. Baby boy. Boy. He tries to say like boy. I say baby boy, and then he kind of imitates it. It's really funny. So a concern I had was I am nursing. I am not going to cut my boy off from the boob before he's ready, because I want to have another child. Just not something I want to do, but you know, you have to understand, like, I have the luxury of, I'm not too old yet. You know, like, I understand what people would do it if they were like, you know, older and wanting to, like, you know, just get the kids, you know, have the kids. But I have, you know, some time as far as like in my childbearing years, so I'm not going to cut him off. And I spoke with a lactation consultant about Clomid because I'd heard different things. She told me, you know, the only risk was your milk supply. And I was like, okay, cool. But I wanted to obviously confirm all that with my doctor too. And so the drugs were rated, you know, between 1 and 5 as far as, you know, what's a concern or a danger while breastfeeding. Clomid is a 4. However, he said the only reason that Clomid is a 4 is because of milk supply. It's not going to cause any harm to the baby, anything like that, but it can significantly reduce your milk supply. So because my son is 14 months old, almost 14 and a half, oh my gosh, how'd he grow up so fast? Because Chase is 14 months old already, he really only nurses about 3 times a day. Sometimes more here and there if he's like, you know, needs mama. And I really liked it. Like, I mean, I call it comfort nursing. He obviously still gets some nutrition, but it's not so much about the nutrition anymore. It's about, you know, him falling asleep and being close to mama, or if he bumps his head and he needs me and I nurse him. My doctor calls it love nursing. I thought that was really sweet. I like that. He's like, okay, yeah, so you're just nursing for loves. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah. So that's something that I was very happy to hear, that Clomid is not anything to be concerned about while breastfeeding. So if you have like a small baby, like a 4-month-old, 5-month-old, like a young child that's still like heavily dependent upon your breast milk, I would not do fertility treatment at all. Don't take Clomid, you know, if you're worried about your milk supply. But Chase eats so much food and it's really just for comfort. So I do feel comfortable even if my milk supply went down, because he doesn't really need it that much. And so yeah, so that's, you know, something that I know a lot of you guys were wondering about was, you know, if it was safe to take while breastfeeding. Just gonna, you know, kind of not prevent for the next month, and then maybe July and August, maybe we'll kind of try naturally. If nothing happens by September, I've got the drugs now, and we will start getting on this, you know, baby making bandwagon. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as it took with Chase, but that's where we are at, and I hope you guys are doing well. I'm very excited. You know, it's definitely surreal to be talking about number 2, but when you have such a hard time conceiving your first one, you kind of don't want to wait too long. And I'd like them to be fairly close in age anyway. So we'll see if we get a little surprise this summer. If not, I'm ready for the drugs again. So we're gonna be back at it. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye.